And welcome to 7 News Live at 5, where President Trump is expected to land at GSP International Airport anytime. We're talking in the next 30 minutes. We're waiting to see it happen.
Yeah, this is a live look at the tarmac at GSP International Airport. We're expecting Air Force One to touch down right around 5:25. As you can imagine, security very tight at our local airport this evening.
Now, we do know that Governor Henry McMaster is there at the airport and expected to meet the president, greet him to the state of South Carolina. His first trip back here since his trip back in February to Boeing. That was to the Charleston area, but this being his first trip to the upstate as president, and he will be doing that, greeting him there on the tarmac at GSP International.
We have Air Force One taking off this afternoon from Andrews Air Force Base. The plane took off approximately 4:15 this afternoon. Among those who are traveling with the president today, we have learned that South Carolina U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham is aboard the plane with the president. Trump headed to Greenville. He's going to be campaigning for Governor Henry McMaster this evening.
Of course, that means lots of excitement and a lot of extra security and also a lot of road closures. We have reporters that are spread all over the area tonight to bring you complete coverage of the president's visit.
Yeah, let's run that down for you. 7 News reporter Katie Solt is at GSP just outside the tarmac. She has the latest on the logistics ahead of the president's visit. Kirsten Glavin is in Falls Park tonight, and that's where an anti-Trump rally is planned. It's expected to take place about 5:30 this evening.
Of course, we're going to get to them in just a second, but first, we want to start things off with our Gordon Dill, who is anchoring our 7 News team coverage right now at the Embassy Suites off of Verde Boulevard in Greenville. This is where the president is headed for the big event for Governor Henry McMaster this evening. Good evening, Gordon.
Yeah, good evening to you, Tom and Amy. We are talking about an old-fashioned political event that's going to take place here tonight. As you mentioned, the president will be in town in support of what has been a political ally for him over the past year, Governor Henry McMaster's bid to get elected governor next year. So here's where it's all happening. The Embassy Suites right behind me here. You can see where there is a little bit of a backup of traffic. Those are all the cars that are hoping to turn into the Embassy Suites for this tonight. And an event that should hold maybe a little over 1,000 people. All of them paid $250 apiece to get inside to see the president, and then all of that money will benefit the McMaster campaign going forward. So when I say it's an old-fashioned event, and there's a lot to get into with that, you mentioned, guys, that President Trump will be with Senator Graham. They are meeting the governor at the airport before they come here. That's a lot of political firepower to try and support the McMaster campaign. And as we said, they are old political allies. A lot of you at home know that Governor McMaster, when he was lieutenant governor last year, was the only statewide official to endorse Trump as he ran in the primary here in South Carolina. The question is, and this is why we wonder if it's old-fashioned, will that type of endorsement really help the McMaster campaign? Will the Trump popularity in a place like the upstate really carry over to other candidates? We've seen evidence lately where it doesn't necessarily, where the president was in Alabama in support of a more establishment Senate candidate named Luther Strange. Strange then lost to an outsider named Roy Moore. And here in South Carolina, just in the Trump campaign, when he ran as an outsider here, he did not get the endorsements of Governor Haley or Senators Graham or Scott in that primary, and yet, as an outsider, he won anyway. So the question is, does that kind of political clout, like we're about to see here tonight, really carry weight with actual voters? Certainly, the governor hopes it will. We talked to him a little bit earlier today when he had an appearance in Anderson. Take a listen to this.
I'm very happy about it. It's delightful to have the president here. Of course, there are a lot of us who say this is where he really got his start, when he won the South Carolina presidential primary back in 2016. So this is a great return.
A big return certainly for McMaster, and he hopes for his campaign. Amy, I can tell you it'll certainly be a boost to his bottom line. This event will bring in, based on the ticket price, somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of people running for governor, but there are two that are leading the pack with the fundraising, and that's, of course, Catherine Templeton and the governor. And the question, Gordon, it was interesting to see Catherine Templeton getting on Twitter this afternoon, tweeting out a pro-Trump message, even though she's not getting the endorsement, saying, hey, you know, I'm that person that likes to be the outsider and drain the swamp. She used that hashtag in her tweet. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
You're absolutely right, Amy. In fact, so Templeton running more of an outsider. You cannot get more establishment Republican Party in the state of South Carolina than Governor McMaster, who has been lieutenant governor and attorney general. He has certainly been a large figure in Republican politics in the state for a long time. So you're right. I mean, Roy Moore was the outsider in Alabama and was supported by people like Steve Bannon, an old Trump backer as well. So it'll be interesting to see if after the president raises money for McMaster here, if he can later align himself with Catherine Templeton, depending on how the voters up here decide early next year. So Trump is a heavy hitter, and so as he comes to town, obviously there is a lot of excitement. Let's start following his trip now. Let's go to GSP. That's where Air Force One, as you guys said, will be landing very shortly, and our Katie Solt is standing by near the tarmac live. Hey, Katie.
Well, Gordon, I'm here at GSP right now where the president is expected to land around 5:25 tonight, and security very heavy here. I've seen everything from Spartanburg County deputies, South Carolina DNR, even Highway Patrol and Secret Service here. And there's also a heavy security presence on Lawrence Road. We want to show you some video now that one of our crews shot earlier today. You can see a massive amount of security cars there because that's near the area where President Trump will be headed tonight. So if you're in the eastern part of Greenville County, expect delays and road closures. We don't know the exact route that the president is taking from GSP to get to that event for Governor McMaster, but again, expect delays in that area. And again, we're going to bring you the latest updates here from GSP when President Trump touches down. But for right now, Gordon, we'll send it back to you.
So one interesting thing, Katie, thank you for that report as we wait for the president. We still don't know, for those of you who know this area of Verde, it's largely accessible either by Woodruff or Lawrence Road, but for security purposes, the Secret Service not telling us exactly what route the motorcade will take to get in here later tonight. But as we follow along, we'll be watching for him and watching for these crowds to get inside the embassy suites. For now, we will send it back to you guys, but I'll tell you what, we're here all night long.
Yeah, and I think we will have some traffic issues. They're going to shut down roads as that motorcade moves through in various locations. So anywhere along that route, be prepared for some delays or some problems. Gordon, we'll check back in with you, of course, and Katie throughout the newscast. In fact, right behind me in Falls Park, the story continues tonight. An anti-Trump rally is getting ready to begin. That's happening in just about 30 minutes. 7 News reporter Kirsten Glavin is joining us from there live, just outside our 7 on Main studios here in the west end of Greenville. Kirsten.
Well, Amy, I'm told a couple hundred people are expected to come out here to Falls Park for this rally that starts at 5:30. But, of course, there are people already out here right now. Take a look behind me. You can see groups of people gathering together. Some have signs, others in T-shirts trying to send a message. I'm told they'll be going down to the staging area right below here to really kick this off. And that's where they'll speak about why their views do not align with the president's as he makes his appearance in Greenville tonight. More than a dozen community and political organizations are expected to be here. I did speak with one of the event organizers tonight. Here's what she had to say about what their message is all about.
We expect several hundred people at least to be here, with the idea being it's a peaceful demonstration of the values that our community has, coming together, empathy, tolerance, justice. So good stuff.
Again, this rally is expected to start in less than 30 minutes from right now. Amy?
And I can see the top of the park from here right at 7 on Main. Kirsten, I want to tell you that I can see a couple of protesters up there as well with their signs and 2 police officers up here. I wanted to ask you about security. I see those officers. What else are they doing to keep this group safe?
Well, the event organizers did reach out to local police to let them know that they were going to be demonstrating here today. So officers are aware, and they're out here as well down here. I've seen a couple of them walk by just to make sure this whole rally is peaceful and everyone stays safe. Live in Greenville, I'm Kirsten Glavin, 7 News.
We appreciate it, Kirsten. Thank you. Again, this fundraiser tonight will be at 6:30. That's when things kick off at the Embassy Suites on Verde Boulevard in Greenville. That's where our Gordon Dill is anchoring our coverage tonight. The president is here in the upstate in support of Governor Henry McMaster. Several groups are going to be holding these rallies this evening during the president's visit. We will, of course, continue our team coverage of the president's visit this evening throughout our news. Coming up, too, on 7 News at 7, your only local news at 7. And then you can always get the latest information on our website and through the 7 News app. Don't forget to hit WSPA.com.